Hello, welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. And last time I checked my fake ID, I was Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by bullyexposed.com, 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. And also brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. Don't know what's up with the app, guys. I'm sorry. Crashed. SK, thank you for coming back. I don't know what's going on. Don't know what to talk about today either, guys. So it's important that you bring up your topics to start the Q&A. Thank you, SK, for starting the Q&A. Hopefully everybody will come back. It sucks when it crashes because then no one comes back. So now they're in second in the division behind the Rays. Okay, that's what I figured. All right, we'll get our act together. I have faith in them. But you're right. We need Stanton. We need our boy Judge, and can't remember the other guy's name to come back. That's for sure. You're right. But so being that this is the third time that we try to set up this episode, let me talk about the stuff we were talking about before. Somebody was saying that I should do some role-playing, bullying role-playing, so people can understand how to deal with bullying. And that's a very good idea, and that's from it's Brianna, and that's a very good idea. And I'm going to see if maybe I can work with someone and kind of do some role-playing. That would be very interesting, you know. So let's see. So what else was said? We talked about meditation. We talked about how meditation can help with bullying, and it can. And I know some of you hear meditation and you think to yourselves, "Oh, that's weird," you know. But it does help. And if you're in a situation where nothing's working, medication's not working for your anxiety, eating right's not working for your anxiety, you might want to try meditation. And you can do it. Tully, thank you for coming back. I don't know what's going on with, I don't know what it is. We have the latest version. Usually when things crash, it's because you don't have the latest version of the app. We have the latest version in the app, and we keep crashing, and we do apologize for that, guys. We do apologize. But we talked about a lot of things. So one of the last things we were talking about with Tully was meditation, and it does work. And so you can do guided meditations. Guided meditations, to me, helps you when you're really, really dealing with your anxiety, and nothing keeps you on track. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you lay down to do a meditation, and you keep thinking of other things. Like you might be thinking of the bullying that just happened to you that day, or a couple of days ago, whatever it is, and you're unable to stay on track. The music in your mind is just moving too much, moving too fast, and you can't keep in line. So guided meditations are able to help you do that. And like I was saying before the show crashed, guided meditation is someone is actually speaking to you and guiding you through the meditation, so that your mind doesn't go and wander and think, "Oh God, what's my bully going to do tomorrow?" Or if you're stressed out about other things, it keeps you in the moment. That's what the guided meditations do. So check those out. And like I said, you can go to Vimeo.com, do a search for guided meditations, and you can find you if you are on a break and you only have 10 minutes, say on a break, you can do 10-minute guided meditations. Just type in guided meditation. So, and Vimeo.com is a proud sponsor of the BullyExposed.com, where high quality videos live. Let's see. And Tully goes on to say, I meant meeting. Oh, meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So, well, but that still was a good subject. So you can still take credit for it. I meant meeting between three people, one the bully, and two the victim, and another person. So you're going to meet with the person who's bullying you? Is that what you're telling me? You are? Because if you are, that's one thing we could talk about, how to prep for that. And again, I'm going to say, I say it 1,000 times, I'm going to say it again. One of the main things you can do is to remain calm. Yeah, I see that. SK says his internet's lagging. Sucks when it lags, right? Yeah, when you're in a meeting with your bully, and Boof Brianna is back. My dog is dressed as a banana. You dressed that pretty dog up as a banana. Oh, that is so cute. Yeah, you want to remain calm. No matter what the person says, you never want to yell. Whenever you're in any type of meeting, whether you're a parent and your child is being bullied. Okay, Brianna says she's going to send me a picture. Oh no, work won't do that, but they should. Yeah, the work would never do that. That's a shame. They'll never do that. I don't know why. I was trying to think of a reason why. I don't know why. It'll make them look good. Should a person try to sue, they can say, well, we did hold meetings and things of this nature to help the two people. But if you're ever in a meeting, so let's talk about that. If you're ever in a meeting, and like I said, if you're a parent and you're dealing with principals because your child is being bullied, you never want to bring your child. You never want to bring the child that's being bullied and the child that's doing the bullying into any of these meetings. That's one thing. But if you are a person that's being bullied and you're talking with your boss and the bully, no matter what happens, whatever the person says, you never want to get mad because you never want to bring emotions into it. And it's even when you are writing. I tell you, keep a journal, right? Whether you keep a journal or you do one of these numbers where you put your phone up to your mouth and you leave a audio journal. That's what I used to do too, because you just can't write something quick enough when you're being bullied. So I would do audio type of videos, and you always want to keep emotions out of it. A good example is, if you think someone is bullying you because because maybe you might have told the boss on them, let's just say, because they were doing something illegal, or maybe not illegal but against company policy, and you told the boss, so that person decides to retaliate. You should not put in the fact that you feel that way. You can probably say, I don't know why he retaliated, but on such and you have all your notes, right? So you say on, August 15th at 5 p.m., I had a meeting with my supervisor and I told him that Johnny was breaking one of the policies that are in place. So maybe that could be why he's doing it. You never want to say he's bullying me because, whatever. And if it's something childish that he said, like you're fat, you never want to put that in your in your discussion. You can put it in your notes, but put it in your notes as something to leave out. You know, you never want to say, he said I was fat, and that hurt my feelings. You want to keep feelings pretty much out of it. MGV, thank you for joining the show. How are you today? So good to see you. I don't know what to talk about, guys, if you're just joining us, so please come up with a topic I should talk about. Smash that question mark and make your statement or your question. But how are you doing today, MGV? So you go into these meetings, like I said, you want to keep emotion out of it. Keep it factual. So if someone called you fat, and yeah, that's gonna hurt your feelings, right? They called you fat, and you when you explain that to your boss, you just say, he's making rude comments that are inappropriate for the workplace. That's what you say. MGV says, I have 99 days to the book launch. Ooh, raise the roof. 99 days to the book launch. Yeah. What if you can't remember the dates but know the exact words the bully said? Very good question, Tully. For legal purposes, you should write things down, or well, you still need to write things down. Whether you keeping, you're doing this on, February 3rd, so-and-so said this about me, but whether you're doing an audio diary, you still need to write it down for legal purposes. It looks so much better, Tully, if your boss ever decides to have a meeting with you and the person, and you're going like this. You got a book and you go, okay, let's see, on August 37th, she was saying inappropriate things, yelling, which is not becoming of a supervisor, and yelling at, and that was on the 27th on Thursday at 9 p.m. On the 28th, Friday at 7 p.m. with witnesses. Richard Santiago was there, MGV was there, Tully was there, and Brianna was there. She said she threatened me by saying that, I had a supervisor tell me she was going to cut my nuts off. So that's what I was thinking of when it said that. So she threatened me by saying she will remove my testicles. Use professional words. And if she said, and I've had supervisors say F you. If she said F you, don't say that. Keep it professional. She used the F word several times to me. It looks so much better. I hope you're understanding that. It looks so much more professional if you're thumbing through your book like that, and you're naming these dates, and you're naming who was there, you're naming times, situations like that. That is the best thing to do. And while I'm on the subject, if your supervisor ever tells you to do something that's against company policy, the best, it's never good to say no. No, even if, I've learned that companies, it's stupid, but companies, if you say no, that's all they look at. They don't look at the fact, well, he told me to break one of the policies, one of your company policies, so I said no. So you never want to say no. You say, okay, I want to make this perfectly clear. You want me to do such and such, right? Yes. Okay. And then what you do right away is you, hopefully it's not something that they're telling you to do right now. If it's something that they're telling you to do like days in advance, you write an email and you say, dear such and such, per our conversation on, and again, you got the time, the date, who was witness with such and such witness. You asked me to do this, which is, and then maybe look in your company policy and highlight it verbatim and say, you wanted me to do this, which breaks the company policy listed below, and you copy paste that into the email, and you say, is this something you still want me to do? And then you have them come back to you and say yes. And now it's in an email. Okay, now I'm still not telling you to break the policy. I would probably, bosses don't like, I'm going to tell you this: speak to a professional before doing any of the things I tell you guys. Okay, I don't, now the next step that you do here is hard, because if you do, I've seen jobs, this really happens. I've seen jobs where the boss said, I want you to break company policy. Obviously they didn't say it like that, but what they told you to do breaks company policy. You say, are you sure? You say yes. You get an email. You send them an email, and the boss sends back an email, says, yes, I want you to do this. Okay, you go and do it, and then they fire you. And you're like, well, wait, I got the email right here. I got an email right here. And there's one thing that you should do. If you're emailing on your company, like let's just say you work for ABC Electronics, and ABC Electronics has their own email, you should CC yourself anytime, because what happens is when the company's ready to fire you, they lock you out of your emails. I've seen people have tons of proof of emails and not have access to it. So you should always CC yourself, and you should BCC. You guys know what BCC is? Blind copy, carbon copy, so that your boss doesn't know that you CC'd yourself. Because if you CC yourself and he sees that you CC yourself, if he's smart, he knows you're building a case against them, and he might fire you. MGV says that I kept a log for my bullied son since it began, mainly because the school was not keeping track of anything. Good for you. And Tully says, yes, that's very professional. Really good advice. Thank you, Tully. Thank you very much. Yeah. This turns out to be a good topic we're talking about. And I'm only going to go for 30 minutes on this one, because it seems that if we go longer than 30 minutes, the internet crashes. And you guys just said I said some good things, so I definitely I want other people to be able to hear this. And if you're watching this in the recorded version, please put your comments. What did you do to help with your bully, to help against your bully? So we're talking some more. So you see, so I'm going to tell you this. So I was in the middle of telling you the story. So I've seen people turn around and say, okay, so what do I do now? My boss told me to do something bad. I emailed him so I can get in writing that he wanted me to do this bad thing. Now what do I do? Because you have in your mind, if I do this, I'm going to get fired. So I can't do it. But so what's the next step? You go to his boss. You go over him, right? And then bosses don't like that, and they'll retaliate. And there's one thing that you should always remember. I think in most countries, retaliation is against the law. I don't know if it is in the UK. I don't know if it is in Australia, but in America, it's against the law. But unfortunately, just like most laws, it's not enforced. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not enforced, and that's a shame. But retaliation is against the law. So for me, and I'm going to say it again, seek the help of a professional before doing any of the things I tell you. For me, I'm not going to do something that's either illegal or against company policy. So I'm going to opt for going to his boss and saying, I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble, but I was told to do this. This is against company policy. I don't know what to do. Because there are bosses. I was talking to a guy, like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years, guys. I talked to a guy who was working as a financial advisor, okay, not on Wall Street, but Wall Street and all those types of things. And there's a lot of laws there. You can get in trouble for for a lot of things. That's not even a field I know. So I'm not even going to bother trying to speak of any things, but you can get a lot of things, right? We know in America, we may not know in other countries that Martha Stewart got in trouble when it came to that financial thing. I think she was she found out some information. You can't find. Again, I'm not gonna forget it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna try to get into that. That's very complicated. But look it up. Martha Stewart. She went to jail when it came to something like that. So his boss told him to do something illegal, and he was like, "Whoa, there's no way I'm doing that. There's no way I'm doing that," because he knew that he would not get fired. He would go to jail, and that would be the termination. He didn't know what to do. He really didn't know what to do, and somehow the boss signed into his account, did it, and he got fired for it, and he got caught and he got fired. He didn't go to jail, but he got fired for it. So you really got to be careful when it comes to things, your boss telling you to do things. I remember one time I worked in a restaurant, and there was this old chicken, and it was smelling really bad. And the chef said, you're going to use this on today's special. I said, I'm not using that. No way. I'm not going to be the guy that got a million people sick, and that's on my head, So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he was like, I'm your boss. You got to listen to me. So, and we had a little back and forth. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to go in this back and forth with him. Okay, you got it. And the minute he walked away, I trashed it. I'm not going to get people sick. Sorry. I was not raised that way as a chef. And so he found out, and he was mad, and nothing happened to me, but I was ready. You're going to fire me, you fire me, but I'm not, that's my reputation, that he can just turn around and say, he's been fired and he doesn't know better. That's what we have to really understand, guys. You think that, oh, well, I'm going to lose my job. I don't want to lose my job. And you do something illegal, or in this case, you get a bunch of people sick. That's your name. Now, if I did that and got a bunch of people sick and it made the news, everywhere I go, that would have followed me as a chef. I probably would have never owned my own business. I would have never owned my own restaurant, and that was my dream. So don't let people ruin your dreams. Don't let people change who you are. If you're a person, that's I don't do things like that. I know that that's illegal, and I'm not going to do it. Tully says, pity company policy don't enforce bullying. Yeah. Every this is the thing, Tully. Every job, every place of business, I should say, has some kind of bullying on their policies, and they don't enforce it. If you got a guy, if I'm a person, let's just say, no, I'm not going to say it like that, because that's going to make me be the bully and somebody can flip my words around. If you have a bully that's making tons of money for the company, and though the company may have a policy of bullying, they will look the other way, because this person's bringing in money, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be, you make tons of money for us, but we're not going to allow you to change who we are as a company. Because now you get what's happening to Ellen. And have you heard this in Australia, Helen? I mean, Tully, that Ellen's show might be canceled. That's what I heard. Canceled because of this whole thing that's happening. And it's a shame. It's a shame, And that's why, again, I'm not going to say Ellen knew or didn't know. Your name is, and that's all I'm going to say about this whole situation. Because I'm not going to get into arguments with people about, well, Ellen didn't know. It was the vice. It was the executive producers that were doing all the bullying and blah blah blah. It's her name on it. It's her name. Period. It's her name on the door. And if it's your name on the door, you better make sure that you know what's going on. Just like I said a couple of days ago with this show. My name is on the show. So I'm going to make sure that no matter how big we get, there's no bullying. There's not one guy that may bring in a lot of money for the nonprofit is going to get away with treating people like crap. Like what happened to you guys know, that's what happened to me. I was volunteering, just in case you don't know, for a nonprofit, a huge nonprofit. And they had a bully in their midst, and they allowed their bully to bully other people. And let me tell you this about that nonprofit. People go to volunteer there because they're big. People go to volunteer. People love it there. But then they have a bully in their midst, and people turn around and leave. They just stop volunteering. They don't say to them, I'm not going to volunteer anymore. They don't say, so and so is a bully, and that's why I'm leaving. They just leave. And then when the person sees them because we live in a small community, even though that nonprofit's huge, it's in a small community, and we live in a small community, and that person will see that person and say, oh, hey, Billy Bob, I haven't seen you volunteering lately. Why don't you volunteer anymore? Oh, I'm busy. And that's a shame, because now they think in their heads that, oh, okay, people are quitting. So when their corporate offices call and say, you had, let's just say 30 people quit in this month alone. Why is it so high? Well, we asked everybody, and they said because they want to move on. I mean, they are busy and they don't have time to volunteer anymore. You shouldn't do that. You should always, like you, Tully, if you ever get another job and you quit, don't say I quit because this other job is paying me more. Don't say, I just want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. Tell them the truth. You have a bully amongst your midst, and you do nothing about it. And that's exactly what I did when I left. That's exactly what I did. And it's sad because I understand where they're coming from. They've never heard that this person's a bully because no one tells them. And that's why silence is so bad, guys. That's why being silent is so bad. So they look, and they probably look at me as a troublemaker. Well, no, you're a troublemaker. No one's ever complained about this person. No one's ever said they bullied them. You're the only one. You're the first one. And they go around in their minds thinking that, oh, people just stop volunteering because they get busy. But you gotta look. See, this is why I always tell you, never listen to people. Look at the whole big picture. Step back and look at the whole big picture. These people that quit were volunteering, I don't know, 1,000 hours a month. You don't go from volunteering 1,000 hours a month, okay, to zero. You don't do that. And that's why this company, that's why I feel they're just ignoring it and not doing anything about it. There he is. What took you so long? Konchiwa, Rico-chan, and Pico. How you guys doing? Let's see. Tully says, wow. No, I haven't heard that about. She's a nice person in real life, or so I believe. That's what she wants you to believe. A lot of celebrities and a lot of people say she's not very nice. Tully also goes on to say, my work is apparently a non-profit company. I personally believe that it's crap. Oh wow. Yes, that's what I feel. All right, and then Pico says, how we're good. How about you? I'm doing good. But we keep crashing. That's the only problem. This is the third time I tried to set up the show, and we crashed, and we had some good conversation on this one. So I'm hoping that this will last a bit. How about if I do this? Smash the heart right now if you would like me to end this one so we can save everything we talk about, and I'll come back and we'll do another 30 minutes with you guys. What do you guys think about that? But so let me go on talking about what I was talking about then. That's the sad part about this whole thing, is that they're going through in their mind thinking people just quit because they get busy. But you should always look at the big picture. Let me give you another example of looking at the big picture. One time I was working in one of my restaurants, and I would go up to the people and say, how's the food, everybody? Hey, is the food good? Is the food good? Yeah, okay. And everybody was telling me it was good and all that. But every time I went to every plate, I noticed that the people didn't eat their coleslaw. I went to one plate, I said, hello, how's the food? Everything okay? They would say, yeah, everything is perfect as normal. But they had a big plate. Everybody had their coleslaw on the plate. So what I did was I went to the walk-in kitchen. I went and I looked at the coleslaw. I smelled it, and it smelled bad. I took a little bit, put it on a plate, tasted it. It was bad. It was rotten, and the chefs were selling it, and I got upset. And that's an example of what I'm telling you. Don't listen to what people say. It's okay to listen to what people say. Don't get me wrong, but also look at the big picture. Step back and look at the big picture. People were smiling at me, telling me the food was great as usual, but they weren't touching a certain part of their meal. So I did some investigating and found out. So we threw that away, and we got some fresh, and we took all the bad stuff off the line and got the fresh, and we had a big conversation that the next day about food. You need to taste the food before you put it out. That's why there's spoons. That's why there's spoons there, so you can taste it and you put the spoon away so you don't re-dip that. You don't want to do that. But chefs should always be tasting their food, and that's what I mean by look at the big picture. In this nonprofit, they want to live in this fake dream, okay, that people just quit because they get busy. They don't want to look at the fact that here's a person that put 1,000 hours a day. How busy did a person get that they would put in? 1,000 hours a month. They were volunteering, and they went down to zero. No, you really need to talk to that person. And it says a lot about that company too, right? It says a lot that people won't come up and tell the truth. They saw the person, they said, hey, how come you don't volunteer? And they were so afraid to say, because you have a bully amongst your midst and you're not doing anything about it. They were so afraid to say that. So you got to always, always, always listen to what people say, look at their actions. And if their actions don't add up, you start to do your own investigation and figure out what's wrong. But they don't want to do that, because if they do that, then that means they'll have to let go of this person, and they'll have to face the facts that they let me walk away. Right? They let me walk away because I don't work for people that do bullying. That bully. I don't work for people that bully. I don't volunteer for corporations that bully. With my experience regarding what ward clerk, no one else has a problem. No one else has had a problem with her. That's very interesting. Now, they could be lying, or they could be telling the truth. But know this, Tully, even if they're telling the truth, it's still not you. It's not a reflection of you. Because if she's speaking to you rudely, there's a problem that she has. So you guys do want me to. So I'm going to close this, and we're going to start a new show, and we'll talk for another 30 minutes. So that's going to do it for this episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Be sure to check out the part 2 to this show. And remember that Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. And also, if you are virtually learning, which most people are throughout the world, check them out. They have some great tools for virtual learning in the classroom. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, where you can get a Be Kind t-shirt from thebullyexposed.com. Not this one, because these are the older ones, but you'll get a newer one. And SK, what's up? We're about to come on and do another show. I'm going to come right back, guys. I'm just going to close this and come right back. So remember, anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another. Have a great day.